Everybody, great to have you back as we start a new Sefer Bamidbar. A friend of mine went to pay a Shiva visit for a friend whose mother had passed. My friend asked him, "How old was your mom?" She was 99. Wow. "Tell me something about your mom I didn't know." His friend said, "She wasn't born observant. She became religious later in her life." "Oh, really? How old?" "Well, my mom turned 90. She decided to become more observant." And my friend is thinking, like, at 90? You mean you spent 90 years being who you are, and now you decided that that's not the right fit? And the Baal Shem Tov tells us that that's actually a precedent for in our parsha. Look at chapter 1, verse 51, and it talks about when the Mishkan would travel. It says, Yurdu Oto Halavim. The Levim took it apart. B'chanot HaMishkan, and when the Mishkan found its next place, Yakimu Oto Halavim, and the Levim then put it back together. So the Baal Shem Tov asked a very simple question: why are you starting off with the part of taking apart the Mishkan? Let's talk about building it, not taking it apart. And the Baal Shem Tov says, in order to move forward in life, perhaps we have to disassemble ourselves. We have to ask ourselves what really is working for us and what's not working for us. Maybe certain things in our lives, our systems that we have in place, worked for us at a certain stage in our lives. But as we move forward in this life, it's important to stop and re-question all the assumptions that we've made until now. You think of crabs, they get new shells, they grow out of them, and they have to form new shells in order to protect them. And so too, like, we grow out of things. And so here, this man's mom, at the age of 90, said, there's more to life than what I've been doing till now. There was a story that I'd like to tell to my students about Ruth Moviah. Shavuos is around the corner, and we read about Ruth, who was a princess from the kingdom of Moab. And she was willing to shed all of that to stay with her mother-in-law, to embrace a new people and a new religion, a new way of life. That takes courage. That takes honesty, authenticity. Shlomo HaMelech teaches us in Kohelet, in chapter 3, verse 2, that there's a time for everything. And he says a time for birth and a time for death. And then he says, Eis latat, there's a time to plant, ve'eis lakor netuya, and there's a time to uproot that which was planted. You would think that the opposite of planting is harvesting. But he says, no, there's a time to uproot that which you planted. It's a time to reassess where you're at and making sure that your situation fits you properly for who you are now, not who you were. As we come close to Matan Torah, it's an opportunity to reflect and say, what is our commitment? Recommit to the Torah, and what will it take for that recommitment? If you like what you hear, please pass it on. Thanks for joining me. Shabbat Shalom.